want to make this about a couple Hollywood stories I've seen. The first one is from The Guardian. It's a review of the new Ghostbusters movie, Ghostbusters Afterlife. They didn't care for it, obviously. You can tell they got 1 star out of 5. And, reviews are always kind of dicey or whatever to, like, talk about or judge because it's just someone's opinion, basically. I don't care whether you get paid for it or whether you're just some guy on the street or whatever. It's just an opinion, and no opinion is more valid than any other. This guy Charles Bramsco or whatever, he goes on and he talks about he really doesn't care for this movie. He doesn't like the fact that like science is first and foremost, that science is like held up as being the best thing and everything. And he goes through and he talks about some of the people, his son Jason, talking about Ivan Reitman is his son. Jason Reitman is the director. And he basically talks about how this movie's got cheesy ass humor. It's got too much of a reliance on, basically Paul Rudd's forced into a comic relief role, with Carrie Coon. That only underscores the brutal unfunniness of everything else. And he doesn't like the fact that it's like, they traded the ironic quippiness embodied by Bill Murray for a guileless Ernest Amblin knockoff in line with the on-trend Stranger Things. Then he goes on and he talks about the cast. Didn't care much for the cast. And it's just this part specifically right here that I want to highlight real quick. It's pandering all the way down, the shocking part being the variety of Reitman's plays. It's not all groaners like a cop offering a jailed for the night Trevor, which is one of the kids, the phone and asking who you're going to call. There's the set piece with cutesy, nattering mini Stay Puffs scratching the itch for cloying mischief makers planted by the minions. And then consider the casual cowardice of a script that uses its own mythology to subtly erase 2016 All Gals reboot from the canon, giving the rage-choked trolls carpet bombing IMDb with 0-star ratings the vindication they've always craved. It's like, man, you still on that shit, dude. It's like 5 years later. But he's, you're still upset about it. That wasn't the 2016 Ghostbusters. I didn't care much for it. It had some moments. Like, I don't think it's as bad as some people thought, but it wasn't all that great. Anyway, but yeah, it didn't care for it. I don't know if that means that the movie is good or not because this guy doesn't care for it. I just thought it was kind of facepalm inducing that this guy is still going on about 2016's Ghostbusters. Anyway, then I got a couple stories from Bounding the Comics. The first one is actor Lenny Henry confirms radical changes to Hobbits in Amazon's The Lord of the Rings series. Basically, there's going to be black Hobbits and there's going to be multicultural Hobbits and stuff. Specifically talking about, the Harfoot tribe, I guess. And he's talking about how it was such an experience for him, and it was, such a great experience and everything. But he says, and this is the part on it, it's kind of weird. It's like later in the interview, he stated, "I'm a Harfoot because J.R.R. Tolkien, who is from Birmingham, suddenly there were black hobbits. I'm a black hobbit. It's brilliant." It's like, did you have a stroke halfway through that, buddy? That doesn't make any sense, but whatever. Anyway, then he talks about, we're an indigenous population of Harfoots. We're hobbits. We're called Harfoots. And we're multicultural. We're a tribe. We're not a race. So there are black, Asian, and brown, even Maori types within it. And it's like, look, I don't think that this is indicative of whether the show's going to be good or bad or whatever. But being, we got black hobbits. Is that something to celebrate? Really? Like, is it that big a deal? I don't understand. I don't get it. It's ridiculous. Like, to me, is it a big deal? No. Like, is it something to celebrate? Not really. Like, whoopee freaking do. There's black, Asian, and brown, and Maori, hobbits and stuff. Okay, that's whatever. Anyway, I will move on quickly to move to this other story. Basically, there's some dope trying to cancel Clint Eastwood for something racist he said in 1973 at the Oscars. That's the one where Marlon Brando had sent up that Native American woman to basically give her spiel about how Native Americans have been mistreated and so on and such forth. And it's like, okay, right on. That's okay. Whatever. And then later on, Eastwood was tasked with awarding the Oscar for Best Picture to that year's winner, Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather. It was as he approached the stage to present the award that Eastwood took the opportunity to make a reference to Littlefeller's speech, reference which successfully managed to trigger woke social justice warriors nearly 5 decades later. He said, I don't know if I should present this award on behalf of all the cowboys shot in all the John Ford westerns over the years. That's it. And this dope, Raphael Shimonov or whatever, I mean, sure I'm mispronouncing your name, but this is what he's trying to cancel Eastwood for. Like, what the fuck, dude? That wasn't even bad. Like, I wasn't, I mean, if you're offended by that, you're as soft as Charmin, or as soft as toilet paper, maybe I should say. I would like to be sponsored by Charmin, but anyway, it's like, you're as soft as toilet paper. If you're offended by that, I mean, Jesus Christ. But anyway, he goes on and he talks some more, and he tries to make a little Twitter tweet storm about it and shit. But anyway, it's not working because it's like, dude, get the fuck out of here. No sane person's gonna be that offended by that. Maybe the worst somebody could do would be like, oh well, oh no, or whatever. But Jesus, you can't say that. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap this up here. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.